Death is the biggest fact of life, but do you know that there are some regions in the world where people are banned from dying? Whoever comes into this world has to die, and the greatest reality of life is death. There is no fixed time for it. Sometimes a person goes to the valley of death without opening his eyes to the world, and sometimes he has to embrace death after seeing a few springs of life. If one sees the world for a century or more, the reality of death has to be accepted. But contrary to this biggest fact of life, there are some regions of the world where the death of people has been banned and fines and punishments have been announced for violation. It is not unbelievable, but this is the reality. Norway. The Norwegian town of Longyearbyen is home to about 2,000 people and has a cemetery, but it has not been used for decades. The reason for this is quite surprising. In the 1950s, it was discovered that bodies buried in cemeteries were not decomposing. This was because the climate here is very cold and the snow is usually frozen, leaving the bodies buried there unchanged, increasing the risk of spreading deadly germs. To prevent the spread of these germs, euthanasia was banned in 1950, and the dying are transported to different parts of Norway. Spain. In the southern Spanish town of Lanjarin in 1999, authorities banned residents from dying until a new cemetery could be found due to lack of space for graves. The decree asked the residents to take great care of their health so that they could survive until the land for the cemetery was purchased. There are no details about what happened after that, whether land was purchased for the cemetery and whether the law is still in force there. Brazil. The local cemetery in the Brazilian town of Biritiba-Mirim ran out of space in 2005, and when the federal government refused to allow a new cemetery, the mayor there banned people from dying. The purpose of this ban was to protest against the federal government for not allowing the construction of the cemetery. As the town is known for agriculture, the construction of a new cemetery was stopped by justifying the environmental laws. However, a new cemetery was constructed there in 2010. France. In the southern French village of Cugnos, burials have become a problem as cemeteries run out of space and the groundwater level rises. The site that was available was near a military airbase, and the Ministry of Defense refused to allow burials there, so in 2007 the mayor made it illegal for people to die who do not arrange their burials in advance. This announcement worked and the Ministry of Defense gave permission to bury people. Inspired by the mayor of Cugnos in southern France, the mayor of Sarparenx also banned the death of its residents due to the lack of burial space in the cemetery. The mayor had also announced severe punishment for those violating the ban. Some people approached the court against this decision of the mayor. It will be interesting to note here that the local court did not allow the mayor to expand the cemetery while also ruling against the order declaring the dead to be illegal, on which local people also joined the mayor. Despite the protests of the mayor and the people to no avail, and it is still prohibited to die there. A person is allowed to die there only if he has already secured a place in the cemetery, otherwise he has to move to another place. Shallow. The Italian town of Celia is also among the regions of the world where dying is prohibited, and this ban was imposed by the mayor in 2015. The reason for this restriction is also very interesting. The town has a population of only a few hundred and most of them are over 65 years of age. That's why the mayor of Celia in this town, while imposing a ban, he said that the death of a person here is actually the death of the town. The main purpose of the ban on his death was to encourage people to keep themselves healthy, and a person who did not get a medical checkup every year was fined.